Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Centennial Lecture Series, UP View from Inside. Today's lecture is the 29th and the last lecture in the series. It is titled, UP and the Cultivate Filipino, in search of a spirit self in a culture of humanism and aesthetic judgment. We would like to repeat that this program will be beamed live to the following UP campuses: UP Manila, UP Los Baños, and UP Visayas in Miagao, Cebu, and Tacloban, UP Mindanao, UP Baguio, and the UP Open University, and webcast through the internet for wider coverage. Audience from all over the world may also send in their questions. Before we start the program, let me reiterate our request to our audience here inside the Abelardo Hall Auditorium to please turn off your cell phones, as even the buzzing sounds from phones on silent mode will interfere with our sound system. Thank you. Please rise for the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyat ka ng mag-ibig, sa manlulupig, di ka masisigil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo paghaw, ay nilatang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagtitigil. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walo aming konsepta, ay langit sa dilim mo. Aming ligaya na pagkay mamahapin, pagkamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Today, we hold another important event to celebrate UP Centennial. I think most of you are aware that we have lined up a series of events to mark this important milestone in the life of UP. We are organizing celebration activities, fundraising activities, and activities to promote or project UP to the outside world. But the centerpiece of UP Centennial celebration is actually the UP Centennial Lecture Series. After all, UP is an academic institution, and because it is, a good part of commemorating its birthday is to get scholars, experts, and distinguished individuals to share with us their thoughts on UP or their views on burning issues of the day. 4 categories make up the lecture series. One set of lectures will be delivered by insiders. They will present to us their views on UP, its successes and achievements, its faults and shortcomings. From them, we will get the view from inside. Another set will be delivered by those who are not part of our community, but who we believe take an interest in our university. They will share with us their insights on our vision, our mission, as they are perceived by the larger community. From them, we will get the view from outside. The third set of lectures will be by experts, both from UP and from other institutions, who will talk about national and global issues such as global warming, poverty alleviation, indigenous peoples, state of Philippine education, status of women, peace and conflict resolution, etc. And finally, for the 4th category, we will feature distinguished individuals who, through their life work, have attained great distinction in their respective fields. As an institution tasked not just with producing new knowledge and disseminating existing knowledge, but also with the shaping of the minds of a future generation of leaders, we felt it was important for us to have this lecture series and provide our faculty and students with the opportunity to listen to what our scholars, experts, and invited guests have to say. Today, we present to you one of our very own to guide us through a process of self-assessment, to give us a view from inside. I wish to thank our speaker for sharing this day with us, and to all of you who are here, we are grateful for your presence here today.
Please welcome the Chair of the Department of Musicology, College of Music, Dr. Laverne de la Peña.
Magandang hapon. It was over 50 years ago, just a little over, when Ramon Santos first stepped into the university as a freshman at the College of Music. Fascinated with the late romantic style of Mahler and Debussy, the young composer from Pasig would train under Hilarion Rubio and Lucio San Pedro, eventually earning a Bachelor of Music in Composition and Conducting. A few years later at Indiana University, where he received his Master of Music with distinction, he began to write works that reveal a neoclassic aesthetic. Working for his doctorate at the State University of New York, Santos dabbled with atonality and serialism. And after workshops in new music in Darmstadt, he gravitated towards the avant-garde and began to experiment with extended technique as well as electronic and computer procedures. Upon his return to the college, the newly minted PhD would be tasked to chair the Department of Composition and Theory, where he would soon attract a throng of students eager to learn the latest techniques, some coming to him without the knowledge of their own composition teachers. You see, we music professors can be possessive, jealous, a lot. The dynamic teacher before long would find himself at the helm of the college as dean, a post he would occupy from 1978 to 1988. At that point, however, Santos the composer was experiencing a profound personal conflict as he gradually realized the enormous gap existing between the contemporary artistic values he imbibed in the West and the intricacies of life in post-colonial Asia. Seeking a musical and spiritual reorientation, he decides to learn Kalinga music from a janitor, trains in Nanquan music under a respected master and Chinese refugee, spends his weekends playing with amateur musicians in the alleys of Ongpin, studies Javanese music and dance from an accountant and son of a famous dalang. He would immerse himself in fieldwork, from Bontoc to Bohol, Banahaw to Basilan, Beijing to Bali. Consequently, his musical interests would shift towards concepts of mode and time, oppositions and ambiguities, functionality and rituality, all part of his quest for new directions in contemporary musical expression that reflect Southeast Asian sensibilities. In time, his own musical direction would be mirrored by the very institution that he led. Santos was influential in developing an alternative approach to higher education in music unique to UP, where students like us were exposed to both Western and non-Western artistry and scholarship. Under his deanship, students were required to learn counterpoint and karawitan, clavier sonata and kulintangan, concerto and kulitong. His leadership was by no means confined to the university. His past national and international positions include Secretary General, of the League of Filipino Composers, Chairman of the Asian Composers League, Artistic Director of the Cultural Center of the Philippines, Commissioner for the Arts of the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, and Vice President of the International Music Council of the UNESCO. Today, he serves as President of the Philippine Musicological Society and Executive Director of the UP Center for Ethnomusicology, balancing an ever-busy calendar with keynote papers, lectures, work premieres, seminars, and workshops in every corner of the planet. As composer, Santos remains among the country's most prolific, having written and performed some 200 works of different genres, from symphonic and orchestral works to experimental multimedia and environmental pieces in the context of modern ritual. Ramon Santos first stepped into this university, perhaps as wide-eyed as any freshman would be. 50 years hence, he stands before us with eminence as University Professor Emeritus. Surely, he has much to tell us about our pamantasang hirang. I consider it an honor and a privilege to introduce to you Dr. Ramon Pagayon Santos.
Maraming salamat, Bern. When President Merlinda Roman first called on us to reflect on the achievements and failures of the university in the last 100 years, I felt a surge of great excitement. It was a great moment of empowerment, offering us a tool to strike back at this institution for the unfulfilled idealism and unrealized visions that I personally experienced as academic constituent and administrative factotum. After deeper reflection, however, it was unnerving to realize that my 50 years of residency and stewardship were years of collusion in the university's struggles and unconsummated quest for direction. It is for this reason that I endeavored to exercise sobriety in seeking answers to the recurring question whether UP has indeed gained its desired maturity and wisdom in the last 100 years or not. I would like, therefore, to explore the inner psyche of the university vis-a-vis its exterior cosmos, the UP's existential being in time and space, and her collective or collected consciousness that guided or misguided her through time until this very day and at the threshold of the next 100 years. In a way, one could look at this present discourse as diffused musings on the UP's self-alienated spirit, both literally and allegorically, how deeply it has been conscientized and transformed into a self-image and into an imagined culture. I would like to explore with you this afternoon how UP, our spiritual